So you just finished a wonderful 4-king trick, or the 4 kings appeared in a production. And now we want to do something wonderful. So let's jump right into it. We've got the 4 kings, and I actually wanted to be able to show them off. We've got the spades in the front, the clubs, the hearts, and in the back, the diamonds. They usually say diamonds are a lady's best friend, and I'm still learning why. So with the 4 kings, we'll do something magical. Set them aside, and we're going to also need 3 cards selected as well. So when we dribble the cards, spectators will tell me when to stop. So they say stop, I'll say here. They say stop, I'll say here, and I'll say here. Okay, and I'll be able to show all the cards so everyone can see them. Okay, hopefully everyone can see them. I just want to make it very visible and obvious for everyone. So they're examining all those cards, and we are continuing on with the trick. Again, never know. And I'll set them inside the deck. One right here, another right here, and another right here. So you can see all of them up to last second. Yeah. Whoop, whoop, nearly fell out there. And we'll lose them up inside the deck. And I wanted to try something quite magical, if I may. I did say I was going to use the kings. We're using kings? Yeah, kings for this particular effect. And here's what we're going to try. Okay, I'm going to actually try this out with the kings very slowly. I'm going to do something very special. I'm just going to rub them right through the hand. And they start to change into different cards. The 2 of clubs, the 6 of hearts, the 9 of hearts. Do those happen to be your cards? Quite wild, if I may add. And we could set these right on top right here. But the crazy thing is, wait, if those are there, the selections are there, what happened to the kings? And I can actually spread the cards on table. You can actually see 4 cards sticking out just like that. Sticking right out from the pack, different from all the rest. You can see that is the 4 kings. Seems like they didn't do anything at all. Crazy, right? Hope you enjoyed the performance. Feel free to like and subscribe if you may. And any little compliments or any little comments you have, and in a way that's maybe a positive critique, working towards a routine. So we're always growing in this academy, evolving Magic. We're always evolving to the next stage. And so, you know, there's some nuances I actually want to share inside of here that could make it a little bit smoother, but the effect was still great. I love it. And it was one I just came up with recently. So here's how it works. It's at the end, it's a perfect continuing effect in a modular, let's say, routine, where you happen to produce the 4 kings or 4 aces or 4 whatever, and you got that in a deck, and it's not gaffed, and you want to do something cool. Well, this is pretty cool. So the spectators are reacting from the previous effect. And I should also do a quick credit. This is my take on a collector's ideas, but yet it's also transpo. It's just a lot of things happen. The kings that supposedly did something end up doing nothing and appear face down, and where was the kings, we assume they changed. It's pretty wild. I think everyone's going to enjoy this. So to begin, we got the 4 kings, we got the deck, it's face down in your hand, and we get a break below the top 3 cards of the deck. Okay, I should mention now that before we even continue, this is an intermediate level routine. So if you're not intermediate level, this can get a little bit difficult. So, like for example, a 3 card break, you need to be able to sight it, push off, get it, and we're all good. Okay, so we get that, and now we're going to do a 4 for 3 change, but it's basically my take on the Chris Kenner 4 for 4 switch that they're in. He did it just with the 4 cards straight like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to up jog 2 of them, and so we get this nice display. And it's going to the display is going to continue the illusion after. You're going to see it's really nice. So we up jog them, display them, show them, because a lot of spectators don't know spades, clubs. They know diamonds and hearts, but they don't know what these ones are. So even though it seems like it's crazy to reiterate it, it just really helps. Here's spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts, and builds this casual connection and relaxation before you do the move. You got the break right here, got the 4 cards and 2 up jogged, okay? This helps to shade the move. I turn them over to show the fairness, and then as I turn it back, it's like so, I'm going to show it from behind the scenes. We're going to use our pinky and kind of levy the 3 cards up like so, kind of like a flourish. Okay, and while we're doing so we turn it, and then as we're turning back, and we make sure the shade is correct, okay, from the front. There you go, I have it open or reset pretty much. But from the back, we want to make sure we're angling it so we're doing, when we do the setup or for the opening of the 3 cards like this, we want to time it so there's no flash, and we want to practice in the mirror to be able to get it that way. And in the original, this is why I refilmed it, is because it wasn't that way, and I want to make sure I do get it that way, so we're very good like that for the switch. And so from the front, boom, we open it up, and it aligns with the cards here, and even if it's not perfectly, okay, we have the other cards sticking out to be able to cover any angles, which looks nice. So we add the 3 cards, we open up, and let me go back. In the process, we open up these cards right here and add it to the ones in the back. Okay, that's essentially what we're doing. Boom, boom. But we do this on the. I do it with my dominant hand. If I'm holding a deck, I do it towards this way. So do this and turn to show like you're showing everyone, and then that's when you add on the cards. Okay, and then we can square it against the deck. So then we can see this nice display of the kings while the cards are added. Then we turn the cards over. Everyone sees the king. It seems very fair. Continued illusion as we turn the cards down. And you get this continued illusion. Wow, the cards are still there. Nothing's happened. As you square a deck with just the 4-finger. We can take 4 cards off. If you want to do a final display, you can. If you do push off 4 cards, square them up, you can show a king before you can maybe secretly push the bottom card out, re-add it to the deck as you're like squaring up, and then do that without flashing the bottom card. So there's that possibility if you want to 4 cards and you really want to do a final display of the king, and then boom, square it on up, and then remove it. So you got 3 cards right here, and they're just random cards, which is great. I should mention these are just randoms. So that's a possibility, but in many cases I just push off 4, okay, I say, and the 4 kings, we'll just leave them aside, whatever. You could say that, or, and with the kings, maybe I do, there's so many options. You can maybe do a face-up display, and with the kings, well, we'll leave them aside, whatever. Just being casual, just whatever line you want, and then we just set them aside. And what they assume is 4 cards. Again, you get rid, let's say you have a king on bottom, as you spread 4, try to square up, and then show just the bottom card, then ditch it. At the end, you always want to have 3 cards at the end. Okay, right here. You don't make a big deal or don't say 3 cards because they are assuming it's all the kings. It's all 4 of them, and it's only 3 cards. Okay. So we got that there, and maybe it's under a box, whatever. I'll put my mouse on top. There we go. Okay, and now we have the position check. 3 random cards right here on top of a mouse. Top 4 cards is the 4 kings, okay, and then the rest of the deck. Now we're going to have 3 cards selected, so I just do a dribble, and you dribble before you get to the top 4 cards. So I'll just dribble right here. There's one, dribble here. There's another. If it gets close, I just close up the whole dribble and then just restart. So now I got all that time again. Boom, and then there will be 3 cards. So in this case, they are the 7 of clubs, Ace of spades, and the 10 of hearts. Okay. And while they are looking at this card, and it was difficult in performance, I had to be sneaky about it, but in actual performance with other spectators, you're able to get to this sneaky move much easier. Okay? We're going to get a break while they're looking at their cards. You're going to get a break beneath the top 4 cards, the 4 kings, and you're going to do the following move. Okay? I'm just going to show it to you, and then I'm going to explain it after. Okay, we're literally just going to maybe turn to the side, or while everyone's just distracted, just openly get the top 4 cards and just revolve it to the bottom of the deck, face up. Okay, cannot be any easier. There's no heat on you since everyone's looking at all the cards, multiple selections, everyone's everywhere, and it just wouldn't be much, even if you just go to the side. You really want to be sneaky about it, just get the cards, maybe do a half pass motion, and I'm going to flash it. Okay, just woo, square it up. And people like magicians are like, oh, it's maybe something or whatever, but they just don't know what. So just again, maybe if you really want to be sneaky about it, just get the 4 cards, lift it up, hold it between the middle finger right here, and just go woo, and turn it over. But just don't make a big deal about it. Just secretly do it or casually while no one's looking at you, and you're all good. So face down cards, and then face up 4 kings at the bottom of the deck. Okay? Now we're going to need the cards back. I just take them back. In this method, we have to take them back. I just say I'll take them back. 1, 2, 3. Show it to them. And then we're going to insert the cards in the upper half of the deck. It makes the move easier. I didn't do that, and you saw the kings at the end production. They weren't towards the middle, and that's because I put the cards too far deep. But if you show them and then you riff off a couple cards, put one in, riff off a couple more, put another in, riff off, put it here. It looks like it's far, but it's less than halfway. I can even spread and show, make it seem so fair. They see it again. They're like, wow, cool. Now we're going to do the Steward, I believe it's a Steward Judas multiple shift. Okay. It was featured in, I know where it's from. It was featured in the Dear Mr. Fantasy by John Bannon. Great, great book. So, it's just a multiple shift, but it's a very cool one. We're going to do multiple things at once. I'll explain it after. But just looking, we're going to shift the cards like a diagonal palm shift. Shift them over. This is the way I do it. I know it's probably not the way it's literally from the book, but this is just how I do it, and I'm able to cover all the shades, so we're all good. So we've diagonal palm shifted. The cards are sticking out right here. Boom. Okay. Thumb is holding it. Now we're going to use our thumb to reposition the cards, so they're being held right here. We're going to use my other hand. The other fingers coalescing right here to shade the pack overall, the move. Okay? And it's a quick thing. It's just a readjustment. Okay? Now you're going to use your ring finger right here or whichever fingers, just to readjust it. So now they're sticking out like so. They're now out of the pack a quarter like so. So you can see it. Okay? And this hand is covering it. We have it right here. Then I use my, one card fell out. Let me get that one. Okay. So after which, let me insert it back into the pack say about there. And so now that we've got them in this position right here, okay, we then use, there we go. We then use our pinky to realign it right here. So it's hitting the bottom of the pack from the dominant hand, pushes on up. So in essence, what we got after shifting it is the cards, all 3 of them, along the side. Okay. Well, again, let's go back. You can take the cards out. We're going to reinsert them so we can cover all our points so far. We're going to riffle a couple of cards off, reinsert, a couple more, riffle off. Okay, riffle off. Do that. We spread and show. Okay. We then diagonal palm shift it. I'm going to try to show from this angle. Okay, we're going to shift it right here, all 3 of them. They go to the side. Okay. Then we use our ring finger to realign them, and then use the pinky of the same hand to lift it on up. So now all 3 are on the side of the deck, sticking out, but our hand covers all that. Okay, in actual motion, if I can show an actual motion real fast, and then we'll continue the actual cut. So actual time, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we can show all of them. Good, I'm looking away, seems fair. Diagonal palm shifted, realign, square it up. So I've got all 3 cards sticking out like so. Now from here, we're going to, this is why it has to be less than half, okay? We now have to do a good estimate of where we feel that the lowest card is from the trio that was selected, and we have to do a swing cut up and out in this position, swinging out these cards. These cards are going to be stripped out and stay, okay? And these are selections. So they're going to, in the process, go to the top of the deck. You're going to see. So we do an estimate of what we think is all three of them, okay? And I think this is all three, okay? We do a swing cut up and out, okay? The dominant hand, in my case the left side, is going to clip on the corner, taking the cards, or it's going to pull it out. So now we've done completely the first part of the swing cut. These cards right here, the selections have been stripped out. They're sticking on the side. The lower half is just right here. And we just slam everything down on top, squaring it in a very haphazard manner. And through that, we've accomplished multiple things. The selections, through that crazy cut and multiple shift, are now on top. Great. We've also been able to put the 4 kings in the middle of the deck, believe it or not, through that one cut. So we've switched out the cards already, then we reversed them and set them up in the middle of the deck. Wow, we are so far ahead, or if we're right here if you want to, for an epic reveal for the end. So we've gotten so far ahead when it just seems like we've lost the cards. But no, we've gotten really far ahead. So now we get to have a little more byplay with all this setup done. So again, I know it was a lot, so let's go over it one more time. Let me go back with the 4 kings. Let's see, where are they? Okay. So we got the 4 kings on bottom from earlier. Okay, and again, earlier, in case you want to remember, getting a break on 4 cards, okay, and then just secretly flipping them over to the bottom of the deck. And again, in flashing 4 cards, just woo, and just let them go over like that. So now, face down deck, face of 4 kings, take selections, as we've shown before. 1, riffle off some, show 1, riffle off some more, show 2, 3, okay. We spread, display, show them, seems fair, I'm looking away, push them inside the deck, align them using the Stewart Juice multiple shift, I believe. And I'll recredit if it wasn't his name. I believe it was the Stewart. It's a multiple shift from the John Bannon book, and he credits it correctly. It's in there. So we do a swing cut, okay? And we're in this process of this swing cut, we're also stripping out those cards, the selections, which is so cool. Swing cut, stripped out selections, just slam everything on top. Selections are now on top through that cut, and the kings are towards the middle of the deck, like so. Cool. And we're very far ahead. And by the way, just a little side note, and I'll leave these cards right here. That's our setup. I'm just doing a little side note. You can actually do this multiple shift, 5-5-2, okay, in this case. You can actually do a lot of cool things with this. You can just take multiple cards in a cool way and then just swing cut and then get those cards right to the top, 5-5-2. It is so wild and cool. It's definitely a multiple shift you gotta check out. Like just taking a break from the usual, oh, I'm gonna just take these cards and riffle and maybe do a Di Vernon-ish or Ed Marlowe-ish, you know, losing of the cards to shuffle them to the bottom, however you do that. I think this is just a good break from that and just being able to do it in a casual manner. Oh, what did he do? Okay, he just inserted them, okay, he squared the deck up, and then all he did was give it one cut. And they'll be like, there's no way he could have found all his cards, and he did. It's really cool. So, that was just a quick side note. Okay, continuing on, we now have the 3 cards at the top of the deck. Same 3. So Ace of Spades, 7 of Clubs, and 10 of Hearts in this case. We get a 3 card break, alright? And we palm the cards, okay? We just casually palm. A good place to learn how I learned palming and how I finally learned palming correctly after many years was expert card technique. And I looked at all the methods and I finally found one that suited me. It's a 2-hand top palm. But it's done so casually, no one expects anything, that I can just do it. And if I create enough misdirection or enough to keep the magicians busy, I'm able to just palm and no one thinks the wiser, which is lovely. And I'm like, even though I know I'm palming in there was no flash, so I'm like, perfect, it works. Okay, but there is a note in this case. After we palmed 3 cards, and this is something you notice the performance I had to fix, but now I know to fix it correctly. When you take the cards, turn them face up, okay? Small things, big difference, as John Armstrong would say. So instead of turn face down, turn face up. You're going to need to in a sec. 3 cards are palmed right here. We can lift up the mouse, set it aside, creating misdirection because you're following it as you set the 3 cards down right on top. You want to be aware of angles so you're not flashing the palmed cards or holding in a weird way. Okay, you add in 3 palmed cards to the random 3 cards at the table. Alright, so again, fancy way of doing this. Use the misdirection of the mouse, going over here as you take the cards right here and you add the palm cards to the cards on the table. Okay? And then I do a little subtle gesture. It's optional, but I like doing this gesture to show 4 cards. I take off 2 off the top, holding a middle finger and thumb, middle grip. Take off the top 2 cards. 1, 2. Okay? Score on top. And then I take off the top card and do a little flick with the thumb. And it's just a little subtle thing. It's like a fancy way of showing 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. I then take the cards. I then give it a little rub like so and push the cards through my hand. And then they start to see one of the selections pop up. And then people start getting excited. It's like, wait, what? Oh, something happened. The 10 hearts pop up. Is this someone's selection? Maybe someone reacts. Oh yeah, that's my card. No way. You pull it on through. You then use your thumb, first finger, second finger to readjust, hold it right here. And the production is as follows. It's being readjusted. You grab it right here in a mechanic script, then you realign it. So this card, the face is towards the audience. I'm looking towards the card, and then the reaction's over there, okay? But the focus is over here. It's like you're creating artwork. So they see the 10 of hearts right here. And I'm also making sure everyone can see it right here. So we show 10 hearts. We pull at the back of the deck. Because we slid 2 cards to the bottom, the 2 selections are right here, and the 3rd one's at the back, okay? So how I produce it, middle grip, middle finger and thumb right here, cards directly towards the audience. Use your middle finger, pull at the back, so we can show the next card. The card is just being held by the middle finger right here. Then our thumb from the dominant hand comes over, okay, and pulls the bottom card towards the middle, okay? So it looks like a cool 3 card fan. Again, middle finger and thumb, middle finger of the dominant hand contacts back, moves it on over, so you get this position, it moves it on up, and then the 4 fingers holding onto the 10 right here as you move it, so it comes on out. 4 fingers are holding on to it's right here, so it makes it move easy. Ace of spades is right here. Then the thumb right here contacts that 10, pulls it on out as well, and puts it towards the middle. The ace of spades is aligned to go towards the side, and then you can show all 3. Wow, the 10 of hearts, 7 of clubs, ace of spades. The 3 cards, other cards are being hidden, like it's a quadruple card. They're all being hidden by this 7 of clubs. Okay? But it's so subtle and sneaky that it's just like everyone's surprised by the production. No one dares to think that, how did this even happen? You're just like, whoa! All of our selections all at once. This is wild, and you'll get wild reactions on this. No way! This is crazy. After we do this, we then take the quadruple card, which is 7 of clubs. And in case you're wondering, it's just all back, so you're all good there. Okay, so from the position right here, we take the quadruple, middle finger and thumb, 4 finger right here. We take it, and so we can drop it safely right on top of the pack, and now we're safe. Lovely. Then we take the 10 hearts. We can turn it face down, give a little middle finger flick, and then you can turn it face down, and then turn it face up, drop it on there. Take the last card, turn it face down, face up, turn it on there, and square everything up. Because of the discrepancy of showing the 3 cards, and the bottom card right here wasn't a focus, no one will remember what the bottom card was, whether it was Queen of Hearts, 10 of Spades, or whatever, which is a nice little thing. And we don't even need to worry about that because, and you're already safe, but you don't even need to worry about that. You just square it all in up, and then you get to ask the free question, just a bonus reaction to the trick that you already saw. You ask, so wait, if the cards were there, what happened to the kings? And this is where your extra work beforehand really pays off. You say, check this out. And you can do it very openly. Middle finger and thumb. Grab the corner of the deck. 4 finger right here. ribbon spread, and you can spread and show those cards face down. Yes, we would like it ideally towards the middle, but even if it's not, the fact that you see 4 face down cards sticking out of nowhere as you just spread the deck, no other moves, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild, to be honest. So then we can show these 4 cards right here, and then you can show they are the 4 kings. And that's just wonderful. I honestly think you'll have many uses for this. You can honestly go into this routine, you do a really cool production. And I'm going to cover a really cool production right now. I'm going to release it. Just a really cool king production. And then you can just go right into this trick and you get, if I'm assuming you have 3 spectators watching, you're able to amaze all of them in multiple effects. Find their cards instantly where it was the kings, and then right after producing the kings face down from the middle, like just their card, the kings turn into their cards, and the kings are found reversed in the deck where you weren't even really touching the cards. That's wild. It's amazing. I love it. This is what I call Liberty's Collectors, and it's my ode to just all of Magic and wanting to take that next step forward just in a unique way. I think many people use it, have fun with it and everything. Hope you love it, and with that said, like, subscribe, and see you next video. And finally, if you are looking to take your Magic to the next level, and the next level being intermediate level in Magic, then feel free to check out the links below. Got something cool for you. So with that said, have a good one.